Hello and welcome to another episode of Race Talk F1 with your boy Jay Knox.
And your boy Javier.
Absolutely. Out of South London, but traveling around the world via this podcast, talking about all the races during this 2025 season.
Yes,
all 24
sir.
races, baby. Yes, and this week we're in Miami.
Big Miami.
Big Miami, man. I was there 2 years ago for the race.
Nice.
Incredible place, boiling hot.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was a little bit wetter this time round.
Tell me about it.
It was a sprint weekend. Hey, listen, sprint. I didn't even realize it was a sprint weekend. Until it was I think Friday I was practice. Oh my goodness, sprint qualifying. Sprint tomorrow. It was and it just all happened. And I felt like the weekend went mad fast for racing.
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Yeah, crazy.
It's even if you go on ITV to watch the highlights or Channel 4, whichever one it's on, it's they bunched it all together.
Yeah. So when you watched on Channel 4, if you watch the qualifying highlights,
that's it. The
sprint is at the beginning.
For
those of you who didn't know it. Because one time I spent ages, it was 2 seasons ago, I think I spent ages looking for the sprint highlights, yeah? I was I can't find the sprint highlights anywhere. I was searching. I gave up. I thought, just going to watch the qualifying highlights.
Yeah.
Boom, sprint race at the beginning. I'm that's what I've been looking for.
Yeah. You guys need to get better with your titles, man.
I'm saying, let people know it's sprint and race qualifying.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Happened on the same day, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's why they kind of bunch it together. But what a weekend, man.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. I mean, you can't go wrong with Miami, right?
I can't go wrong, baby. Live on a Sunday. Obviously, yeah. The race. The Hard Rock Stadium, mad. And they've changed the way, they've changed things around a little bit, the way it was. The year I went here was the first ever Miami, and it was it's the Hard Rock Stadium. There was nothing inside the stadium.
Yeah.
It was the deadest. I swear there were some caravans in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of the stadium. And I was what's even the point of being at a stadium, making it the best thing about the stadium is the stairs going up to the stadium at the outside.
Yeah.
Gave you a good view of the racing, which was all outside the stadium. But they've created some more stuff now, seen inside the stadium. Not bare entertainment, but the screens are there, but there's more stuff happening, more reasons to be in the stadium.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, apart from that, the entertainment is out on the strip on South Beach, but an interesting race weekend, and the sprint for me was the highlight of the race weekend for me personally.
Okay.
The race was good, but for me, I enjoyed the sprint more. Maybe it's because I watched it live, so it had a different feel.
Okay. I feel you. So sprint quali.
Yeah. So talk about that.
Sprint quali. So young rookie, Mr. Superstar this season, Kimi Antonelli, P1 baby.
Yeah, man. Got his driving license and kept him moving.
Literally.
All right, Kimi's doing bits, man. And what's interesting about him getting P1 in the sprint qualifying is this Mercedes is obviously doing bits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, he out-qualified George, who was in 5th. So that's a big thing, innit? It's a big thing for a rookie to do that.
Is it the first time he's out-qualified George?
I think so.
Well?
I think so. To do it in Miami, I think he saw someone in the audience, right? And he went, today I'm putting on a show. Always, that's what they say about the basketball players.
Yeah.
Anytime someone sits front court in the basketball, the players always then put on their best performance of the season. So I think he saw someone special in the stands.
I love it. Maybe it's this kit, this different. Obviously, they had loads of different livery, different teams. But I like the Mercedes race suits, man. It was a little bit different. I just liked it.
Yeah,
I was
looks special.
Feeling this, man. Feeling this.
So then we had Oscar and Lando P2 and 3. Oscar obviously out qualifying Lando again. So big storyline there.
Talk about that later.
We'll get on to that. Then you had Max, of course, in 4th. It's not a bad result for him in terms of where the Red Bull's been, I think. They're quite inconsistent at the moment. So I think it's not a bad result for him.
Where was Yuki?
Where was Yuki?
Exactly.
18th.
So this is what I'm saying. Yuki's had a torrid time, man.
He has.
He's had a torrid time moving. Oh,
I don't think the team helped him in this sprint qualifying. They messed up the timings when they sent him out again.
Okay, cool.
And that proper messed him up.
So this can happen, innit?
But
this is also just the sprint.
But you got to make sure you put a first lap down that's worthy then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And not risk it until the end.
Yeah,
so
for real.
kind of works both ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to put more in, Yuki.
Literally. And then Charles and Lewis, 6th and 7th.
Which has been very consistent from the Ferraris. 6th, 7th, 7th, 8th, 6th, 8th. This is what we've seen. But again, this is just sprint qualifying. So everything that was happening, I was thinking, okay, it's cool, but we'll see what I go on for the race, innit? And I didn't watch a sprint qualifying live. But like I just caught up on it quickly before the actual sprint race.
Yeah.
And obviously the sprint qualifying is cool in it, but it comes down to Wagwan in the race. And the sprint was a mad race.
Delivered.
Bro. Yeah,
it delivered.
Still. The whole point of them doing a sprint race is to give us, the fans, a bit more like on a race weekend.
Yeah, especially if you're there as well, right?
If you're there on a Saturday, what a day. What an incredible day. So that's sick. Now, the thing about a sprint, right, it's meant to be whatever it is, 19 laps or there or thereabouts, depending on where you are, with no pit stops, just go for it.
Yeah.
Now, in the last sprint that we saw a pit stop or two, and it was like, you didn't have to, but people pitted. This time, because the rain was like coming and then it came and then it was clearing up and it was drying. Hey, listen, this is like the ultimate. Like, they should make you have to pit on a sprint.
Yeah. They should. It just adds to it. It's exciting.
Adds.
It's exciting. It's needed.
And I enjoyed it, man. It was crazy. Let's talk about it. There's a little bit of drama in it, to be honest.
Yeah, so the race just managed to start, didn't it?
Yeah, to be honest. Someone crashed in before the formation lap.
Charles Leclerc.
It was Shaw. So Charles Leclerc didn't make it into the race, bruv. This is mad.
It's bad. It kind of brings us back to the first race of the season, right? Where people were spinning out. Yeah.
Like, didn't make it to the race, crashed on the formation lap. And here we had like in total, I swear we had about 5 formation laps. None of as many as that.
It was mad.
Bare formation laps.
It was mad.
Red flag before it started.
Yeah.
And then the commentators were like, they didn't even know, like, does it count towards a lap for the race? Is it not? Because obviously the fuel amounts are like very, very carefully calculated. Oh, it was a mad one.
Yeah.
Mad one. So Shah didn't make it to the sprint race because he'd done his car into the wall. And the walls in this track, like, again, it's quite close to the track. So there's a lot of opportunities to mash up yourself before you, just with a slight mistake.
Yeah.
Man,
it's interesting.
Shah's meant to be the number 1 driver. He's been putting himself out there as the number 1 driver.
Yeah, he's throwing my prediction right off. I'm telling you, I thought he was going to be number 1 driver. I thought he'd run away with it, but... Yeah, he's struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it further later on, but just trouble in paradise at Ferrari, I think, at the moment.
Ferrari's just having a bit of a it's a bit of a mad time. But yeah, he didn't race in it. But Lewis, I felt like had a good race, and Lewis in the end finished 3rd, right?
Yeah, podium. Comes alive in the sprint time.
Comes alive. And this for me was brilliant all round. It was great driving from Lewis, but it was great strategy choices from Ferrari. Like, I was there shouting at the screen like, Lewis, because Lewis was like 8th or something, right? Or maybe he was 6th. Yeah. So he was in the points. Obviously, the first 8 get points, right, in the sprint. Now, he was 6th, and I was like, it's not a lot of points. Gamble. Like, come in and get on the other tyres, because basically it was wet and it started to dry really quickly. Oscar was on the radio saying, it's drying quickly.
Yeah.
It's drying quickly. It's drying quickly. And then he was like, it's not drying as quickly as I thought.
Yeah.
But I just know that Lewis is good at managing like weather conditions. So I was like, gamble. But were they going to gamble? That was the point. And then he did, and I was like, "Yes, he's come in." He changed, and he was flying up the positions because a lot of other people started to pit as well.
Yeah. Well, and then originally Ferrari suggested he goes on to the mediums, and Lewis goes, "No, I want softs. Put me on the softs." So they put him on the softs, and I thought that was a mad call from him. So I think they think, they say that you go on mediums when it's a bit wet because it has slightly more grip. So they were like, "Oh, okay." But great call.
But it's a call for we've had this conversation before. Sometimes the drivers who are in the car, they got to take more responsibility and be more assertive. And that's exactly what Lewis was. And I feel like the team at Ferrari need a little bit of
pep in their step.
You know what I'm saying? like step it up, guys. Step it up. Think fast, make decisions, bam. They're reminded, like, especially in the race, and we'll talk about it, but it's giving McLaren 2024. Like half stepping, bad strategy decisions, uncertainty, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hesitation. But
Need some double espressos to wake themselves up.
bro,
I'm telling you.
an Italian team, you'd have thought they got that on deck. Hey, so yeah, there was all of that going on. Oscar got off to a mad start as well. Lawson was like, I think he made up like 5 places.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
right at the
Right at the
beginning.
start,
It's
yeah.
like, go on, Lawson.
start.
And then he started causing all sorts. Hey, Lawson is the liability, you know.
Mate, Lawson, he's a different breed. He's actually a different breed. Like, I can't with him. I actually can't with him.
Lawson's a liability, man. Like we need to be mad careful. If you're anywhere near Lawson on this track, it's
Problems. So he ends up taking out Fernando, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ending his race.
Alonso, is having a mad time. And it's leading me to think, hey, is Alonso still got it? Because he's the most experienced on the grid.
I mean, off the sprint, I'm not going to comment because I think that was just Lawson's fault. And I have no idea how Lawson managed to avoid a penalty.
Yeah.
He came from off the track, back on the track, hits Alonso, spins him out, and don't get a penalty. That's mad to me.
It's causing
If that's Max, that's a 10-second penalty.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alonso, I think originally I wanted to say that it was just waiting for next year and he's kind of on a mental holiday, but father time, innit?
Listen, 6 races in, and we're going to talk about this in a bit, but we're a quarter of the season in now. Like, this was like your probation period.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you gave everyone 6 races, and then we'll start calling judgment on people, innit? But Alonso has had an awful quarter. Awful quarter.
Yes, by his standards as well. It's like, it's bad.
And he's one of the people, I mean, he's quite harsh on himself, so you do believe that he's probably his own biggest critic. But he's getting beaten by Lance Stroll, like, a lot. And like through the season so far. So it's difficult to kind of look at Alonso and be like, yeah, man, he's just having a tough time. Yeah. He's getting beaten by Lance Stroll. He's not finishing races. He's not qualifying well. He's getting out qualified by Stroll. Like, there's a lot going on here. Yeah. And as much as I know that there are reasons like Liam Lawson taking him out in this race, but when you just look at this thing on the results thing and you're just like, yo, like, how many races out of 6 have you finished? How many, like, where have you qualified? Like, because that's what it comes down to at the end of it. At the end of it.
There's only so much bad luck that is coincidental as well, right?
Bro. Make your own luck.
Do you know what I mean? And Lance Stroll ended up 5th in the sprint race.
Go on, Lance.
Mad result for him.
Go on, Lance.
Result, isn't it? Like, enough love.
He's just that guy at the moment.
He's number 1 driver at Aston Martin.
He is. I mean, he probably always was, but like, he's just pulling it out the bag. Yeah. And this is what he needs to do, I think, to stay in Formula One. Now, there's talk of Aston Martin getting bought by like, I think the Saudi people put a bid in. And it's like, do you keep Lance Stroll? Does he keep his seat when his dad's not the team owner anymore? Feels like he's putting in some drives to show that he deserves to be there, which is quite impressive, man.
Yeah. So Lando and Oscar, 1 and 2.
Yeah, man. Like, this is becoming a bit of a story, you know. And this is how it's meant to be. It's meant to be like teammates. Like,
yeah. Closer to each other, fighting each other.
Yeah. It's what we expect to see. It's why Red Bull is such a shock with how they're finishing up. And also when we don't see Lewis and Charles, obviously it's not even a conversation because Charles went in this race.
Yeah.
But Lewis did really, really well, man. And to be honest, I was really looking forward to him on a good run, like fighting with the McLaren.
Yes.
Because he flew up that grid. So he finished 3rd, but he only finished 3rd because we had a safety car thanks to Liam Lawson.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson messing up the thing.
Oh, mate, yeah.
So now, because he took out Alonso, and it was a crash. It was a safety car 3 laps before the end of the sprint. And you got Lewis that could have challenged or could have like made a bit of a trouble in the McLaren paradise.
It was game on for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and him and Piastri would have been a race as well.
It would have been. And Lando's the luckiest driver in Formula One after that.
We'll see if you're still saying that.
Undeserved P1 I've ever seen in my life.
But that's how it was.
That's how it was. And, you know, fair play to McLaren for timing the pit stops correctly. They done everything right. Lando didn't make the mistakes. Put himself in a position to win.
But I'll tell you who did make mistakes was Kimi Antonelli, who started first. And goodness knows where he ended. Where did he even end up? because I think he dropped down to 5th, like on the first lap, was it?
Yeah, so he ends up 7th.
Yeah, man. He had a bad day. And I think he felt quite hard done by as well. He felt like he got pushed off by Oscar. I think it was one of the McLarens anyway. And I don't think he was. I just think Oscar has ice in his veins.
Yeah.
I said it before, I say it again. The guy's got it.
He's got it. But Kimi had a worser event in the race when he crashed with Max in the pit lane.
Or Max crashed into him in the pit lane.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull breaks your wings, boy.
Listen, hey, as he pulled out, and I just saw debris flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And what was mad about this, I didn't clock this until the replay. So Red Bull have released Max unsafely.
Yeah.
He's hit Kimi.
Yeah.
Kimi was pulling into his garage.
Yeah,
but
he was,
Kimi's like had to swerve. And now he's missed his garage.
Yep.
So he's in the pit lane, doesn't get a pit stop.
He just had to do a drive-through, and that just ruined the race for him. Like, it was,
no McDonald's.
And you know, like in your head, you're just
no Big Mac.
In your head, you're just thinking, "Nah, it's not my day. This is not my day."
Giving up, bro.
Do you reckon? So when a driver comes out the pit lane, do you think that's a team mistake, or do you think that's a driver mistake?
Oh, it's a team mistake, man. Team mistake, because like you've got all the mechanics around, and at the end of the day, like you can only see so much. Max is watching the red light in it, and the mechanic can change that red light. Red Bull have had some issues so far this season with their pit stops, man, and they're the best at it. Like historically, they've got the fastest pit stop of like 1.8 seconds. They do this pit stop thing, but what they didn't do is check the lights and make sure the lights were running right. Well, they had tech issues about 2 races ago with the lights going green. This time they should have made it stay red, and they didn't. And I mean, maybe they just said, I think Red Bull just do what they want in it. So they're like, send him out, like whatever. But Max was fuming in it. He's like, come on, guys, because what's he meant to do? He just pulled out and bam.
Yeah.
So it's the team's mistake, man.
Should drivers check their mirrors though?
Always.
Yeah. Not BMW drivers.
Hey, they're not in the Formula One, man. Leave BMW alone. Like, what's this got to do with anything? You should have indicated as well, should he?
Oh dear.
So yeah, all of that was going on. There was a sweeper on the track. That was just like the funniest. Like, so I think I posted it. It's like the funniest image of the sprint race for me was a sweeper on the track. You know them little sweepers that drive around and collecting up debris in the gutter around like Croydon High Street. That's what it looked like in the middle of the thing. But they did a job. They dried up the place, and so we had an amazing sprint race. So that was that, like I said, for me, the highlight. And then onto the race, which was later on. I can't believe it was lashing it down so much in Miami.
Yeah. Like at this time of the year as well. I thought it's like summertime, isn't it?
Yeah, mad rain. Like I said, when I was in Miami, it was sweltering for this time of year. That's all I remember. Like it was so hot. But they were driving around. The visibility of these lot driving in spray, because let's just remember it was red flagged because on the formation lap, man at the front couldn't even see. Kimi couldn't see past the safety car. And that was P1. So if you're like P5, P10, whatever,
you don't see nothing.
Like all it is spray. If you've ever driven down the motorway, and it's bare spray from rain, like you'll know this. These lot can't do 180 mile an hour overtakes. It's mad. It's not safe. Like so, Anyway, so onto the actual thing. Later in the same day of the sprint, was race qualifying. Which I think is mad. Like the momentum that like Lewis would have had from being like, I could have challenged the McLarens. You know that he'd have been going into qualifying feeling quite good. The momentum that McLarens would have been feeling. Bam, we just won. P1, P2, you stood on a podium. You've sprayed bare champagne, probably not drunk any at this point because you know you got to get back in the car
in an hour,
in an hour to do up qualifying. You don't know what the rain is going to be saying like a few hours late. So it's a mad
Your car
thing.
setup should be the same. You've just won a race.
So you would think that bam, like we're going for it again, and it would be feeling good. And then you've got people like Max that didn't do so well in sprint, you know he'll be like, no, I can still pull this back, innit? Like this weekend ain't done. Like dash that. Like we get on with it. We move. So people like him, Antonelli, who just knows he's just qualified
Champion
P1.
mentalities.
Yeah, he's just qualified P1 and he lost out on the race. He's like, nah, I'm gonna be qualifying again. So like the feeling going into this qualifying session, I think was probably like quite
competitive, isn't it? Like there's a lot of people that thought they were gonna be the guy.
Yeah. But in actual qualifying, it didn't go anything like that.
It didn't.
I've said all that.
But it was Max Verstappen, new baby earlier in the week. And when it comes to qualifying in Miami, proved that he's a big daddy again.
Big daddy. Hey, whose interview you been watching?
Yuki.
Listen, Yuki Tsunoda. So Max missed the press day on, was this like Thursday?
Yeah.
Busy, his wife having a baby. Wife, girlfriend, Kelly PK having a baby, right? Meanwhile, interviews with the drivers congratulating him. And Yuki says, Big Daddy.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Hey, Big Daddy. Listen. Yuki, never, ever say that again in reference to Max Verstappen. Like, allow it, bro. That was a big pause moment still. Big pause moment.
Well, yeah, so Max qualified P1, put out a hell of a lap.
Big Daddy once qualifying, boy.
Boy, he had wings this time. He definitely drank some Red Bull before he went out for that lap. And then Lando in P2, which I thought was quite impressive for him.
It was so tight. It was
very tight.
Thousandths of a second again. Like these lot really, really taking this all the way.
Yeah.
Like it was so tight. I love seeing qualifying come down to the wire, but it was tight. And it proves the Red Bull's got the pace as well as the McLarens.
It does on and off lap.
With no traffic.
We'll get into that later.
Cool.
We'll get into that later.
Perfect. So in perfect settings, we can agree. Red Bull and McLaren are levels. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Where were Mercedes? Because they weren't. It's very close, of course. But
Kimi split the McLarens, which I thought that's great. He must love Miami. Like I'm telling you, there's something about Miami for him. I don't know if it's just the track layout or what, but he ended up splitting the McLaren. So Kimi was third, Oscar was fourth, and George was fifth.
So he out-qualified George
again.
So he just loves his track.
Yeah.
But yeah, and George would have got into this thinking, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Yeah.
But Kimi's really, really, really doing this thing.
Yeah, he is.
Out-qualifying George like that. And also, it shows the Mercedes also has the pace.
Yeah.
So the only ones that are not showing the pace is
Ferrari.
How is this happening?
Yeah.
Is this just bad luck for Lewis? Because even the Williams were challenging.
And the Williams out-qualified. Both Williams out-qualified both Ferraris.
Bro, like Carlos Sainz is laughing.
They're powered by Mercedes engines, right?
Right. Carlos Sainz is just he just laughed his way. Like I'd like to see his facial expression inside the helmet. Like he just must have been smirking all the way in front of the Ferraris, leading people to say is Lewis made a mistake. Because you can imagine if Lewis was driving a car with this pace at Mercedes. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, so it's impressive from Williams. Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon 6 and 7. Shaw out qualified Lewis in 8th. And then you had Ocon and Tsunoda 9th and 10th.
It's almost mad that Shaw didn't even get to race in the sprint. Big up them Ferrari mechanics that got Shaw.
Overtime again.
Deserve every penny, bro.
Innit?
Like that's like working double time because they were due to be there, but to get that car ready, and repaired to be able to qualify, they did well.
Maybe that's why they made all the decisions they did during the race. They had to heavy up on caffeine, and then that come down is hard, you know.
Oh, you might be on to something.
That come down is hard. If you've ever had like a couple of Red Bulls or a couple of coffees before doing something, or like when you're really tired, so you bang that, keep it awake. That come down's mad.
Yeah,
that come down is mad. So.
You reckon that is the reason behind mad Ferrari tactics in the race? Where did you watch the race?
So I just watched the race at home, live.
Yeah.
Which was fun. It was
sick.
Fun race.
Yeah.
Fun race.
I was busy watching Amari and Trey Songz and all the R&B guys. You get me? Like do up Wembley Arena.
Yeah. Where was you sitting?
Row 1, seat 1.
Jeez. J knocks to the world.
Big up H, because plug man into the front row still. Yeah,
Don't get much better than that, does it?
Nah, Lloyd walked across our row, and it
Mad.
looked like it's one of them ones like you see me and Lloyd next to each other, and a couple of people was like, "Are you brothers?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No, far from, man." But that's how close we were.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy. So yeah, I was doing up R&B, like keeping an eye on my phone to see what was going on.
Nice. Yeah.
To see what was going on in the actual race. Keeping an eye on my phone, and the phone rings. I love it. Yeah, so you watched it live. I did up catch up.
Nice.
But what a race.
So
Bit drier. Started off a bit drier than the sprint did.
Yeah, and sort of started the race, and then they said, "Oh, we're going to get loads of rain in 20 minutes." Where was this rain, please?
All now, yeah. All now, no rain. You know what I'm saying? And they have like the mad weatherman as well.
I don't know what some of these people look at sometimes, because how are you going to tell me there's going to be heavy rain in 20 minutes and then there's not a speck of rain?
They said heavy rain. Like they were getting technical. It's going to touch turn 7 and 17 first. Then on the next lap, it's going to be mad.
I thought the UK weathermen were bad.
Bro, the Miami weathermen are worse. Listen, starting off on front row, Max and Lando, I knew this was going to be interesting.
Yeah, defo. And then also you had Oscar down the inside as well.
Yeah,
and a lot of people have been saying that McLaren seem to have got this new strategy now of every time they qualify for a race, they're just going to get the inside line, dive bomb down the inside, because then the corner's yours.
Yeah.
And now the precedent's kind of been set from, a couple of races ago. Like, just go for it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, to go for it, you have to have the mad minerals. This is the thing when it comes to racing. Now, Lando's gone for it, and it's got techie.
It has.
Max locked up. Yeah. Lando's cut back in, and then Max has forced him off the track. You stop nodding, bro. Like, why you stop nodding? But in true Lando style, he doesn't lose a place. He loses about 5.
Yes, always.
And now
I don't know how he does it.
This is the driver thing. So, like, you have to have the mad minerals. But at the same time, I do think, and Lando literally said afterwards, it was like he was like crash or don't pass when it comes to Max. And I think there is an element of that, because if Lando doesn't back out of it, you've got a collision on your hands.
Yeah. But then don't pass. You've got a faster car. You know what Max is about. Why are you taking the risk?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to pass him on it. As soon as DRS is open, you're going to get him.
So he kind of doesn't take the risk.
Yeah.
He backs out, and then he loses all the places. But you kind of want him to say, do you know what? Bruv, just go for it, innit? And if there's a collision, there's a collision.
Yeah.
That is what it is. Because that's kind of what Max would do.
Yeah.
And that's why Max is a different kind of racer to Lando. But do you know what? I'm like, we're going to talk about this in a little while anyway, but I'm predicting later in the season, the big Max and Oscar racing incident.
Yeah. It's coming.
Big incident,
It's
bro.
definitely coming.
Because them two, man, have both got the same kind of minerals.
Yeah, they do.
Like, neither of them is going to back out. Max feels like he owns his thing. Oscar is not backing out of something like that.
Yeah.
And that's where Oscar and Lando, I think, are a little bit different, man. Like, but Lando backs out, but it doesn't go too bad for him.
It's interesting because I don't remember how many years ago now it was, but there's a famous overtake from Fernando Alonso on, might have been Raikkonen or someone else, where Alonso, it's like proper famous overtake, and he goes, I knew he was going to brake early because he's got kids and a wife at home.
Yeah, it's true.
Max just had a ute.
Still going for it.
Max don't care, bro.
Still going for it.
I think people are saying we'll see his daughter in Formula One. Like, it's just, she might be the first, because
it's true.
That's runs in there's blood in it.
Yeah, this is mad. It's mad. And this is where it comes down to what is going through people's minds when they, when they're racing, and, some people just want to get that one championship and be like, I've done it. And then you've got people like Max and Lewis that are like, I'm going again. But having said that, I do think Max has got this thing about him where it's like, do you know what? I think he's going to draw the line at some point, and he's just going to come out of F1.
I agree.
Be like, I've done it. Got the T-shirt. I don't think Max is going to challenge Lewis for the most championships.
No, he'll get bored. He's bored. I think he's bored already, to be honest.
I hear you.
He could all retire at the end of the year now. He's had a kid.
It's true.
Like, it would not surprise me.
It's just like I want to spend time. And he said it in a few interviews. Like it gets to a point where you just want to spend time with your family and stuff. What really matters. So I do think he's got that element about him that kind of where he wants to spend time with his family and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think he's got the element where he's going to back out of a
Absolutely
back out
not.
of a challenge.
Absolutely not.
So he's got the balance. He's got the mad balance.
It's a mad balance. So yeah, I need to be more like him.
Bruv, you don't. Allow it. Dead. I stop hanging around with you, bruv. We'll stop rolling.
He's pure entertainment, bruv.
It's not pure.
People love watching him. You take Max out of F1, right? The race is 50% less entertaining.
I think. I don't know, man. Just like you just have to watch the Ferrari drivers, and the entertainment comes back because these lot were going back and forth. And I don't feel like the battle in Ferrari is between Lewis and Charles. It feels like it's between the drivers and the mechanics.
It's not at all. So they end up finishing 7th from 8th.
Typical.
The two Ferraris, as you said, floating around there the whole season. But I've literally got in my notes here, I've got a screenshot of everything Lewis said to Ferrari mechanics during this race. So it got to a point, so see Lewis pitted, got on faster tyres than Charles and was behind him, right? So Lewis wanted to overtake him. So he thought, as a team strategy, let me swap, let me go at the driver in front, let's see if we can catch him, which was Kimi. Yeah, and he was only, 2.5 seconds ahead?
Something like that.
It's not that much time to eat up. Lewis was on fast tyres. You know, let him have a go, right? Ferrari didn't really seem like they wanted to let him go.
Bro,
so
he had Carlos Sainz behind him at the time, yeah?
He did have Carlos Sainz, but a second behind him.
Okay, cool.
They told him just to sit in Charles' DRS.
Bro, this is mad.
What?
So let me just get this right. Like you sacked off Carlos Sainz, yeah? And what, you mad shook of him now? Like in a Williams behind the Ferrari.
Literally.
And instead of forcing Lewis forwards, you're saying, yeah. You can play really defensive here. Bruv, you're 8th. Like, what kind of defense are we doing?
Oh, for 3 points in the championship.
You know what I'm saying?
What are we doing?
Oh, bro, dead.
So Lewis hits back. You want me to just sit here the whole race? Ferrari with their famous, I'll come back to you.
Bro, how long did it take him to come back to him?
At least like a lap or two.
Bro, it was like 2 laps.
Stupid.
Now, let's remember that racing is all about hundredths and thousandths of a second.
Yeah.
Bro, were you taking 4 minutes to come back to man for?
What were they doing in that 4 minutes?
Bruv, pouring more coffee. Waiting for the espresso machine to fire up.
My espresso machine is way quicker than that at work. I'll tell you that for free.
Tassimo doing Tassimo things, yeah. No, that's mad.
Like what? So when they're making a decision like that, how many like people are signing off like a decision that has to be made? Because I thought it was just a race engineer that just goes, yeah, we'll do this.
Well, you got to get someone to froth the milk. You got to get someone to bring the beans in. You got. I don't know what they're doing.
Stir it.
Get someone to stir it.
They run out of sugar, so now someone else has to.
It wasn't sweet enough. Got to cool it down a little bit as well. So you got the dry ice, man. Bro, I don't know. But this is what I'm saying. Like, it's giving McLaren 2024. Mad, slow decision making, wrong decision making. Like, should have swapped them like that.
Like that. So now Lewis was in his head and he goes, in China, I got out of the way for you when you were on a different strategy.
Simple. And I just remember him saying, this is not good teamwork, guys.
Yeah, he said, this is not good teamwork. That's all I'm going to say.
And it's not all he said, though, is it?
And then that's not all he said. And then he hits him with the, have a tea break while you're at it. Come on.
Bro, and I actually think it was a coffee break.
It was a coffee break. He was so fuming that he forgot they do not drink tea there.
Bro,
but
he's just like, bro, you lot are taking the mick in it. Like, taking bare time to do stuff. He's just like, and the whole thing, now, this is where I rate Charles, because Charles was also saying, like, I can have a go. Like, when they eventually let Lewis pass, then Charles was like, I can, like, I'm ready. Like, I can go and have a go at Kimi as well. Bro, by this point, and then Charles was like, don't even worry about it, he basically says, innit? Like, he's just getting annoyed as well, because he's like, what we doing, innit? He goes, the main thing is to, like, keep up. And this whole time, you're not just letting Kimi drive away.
Yeah.
Toto must be looking at this thing thinking, you lot faff amongst yourselves, innit?
Yeah.
Kimi's just cruising, ain't even got to do too much.
Not worried.
Because you lot are fighting amongst yourselves, just giving him a free ride. Like, waste decisions from Ferrari, man. I'm fuming.
Damn. And then he goes, So then the engineer goes, Sainz 1.4 behind while he's waiting to overtake. Lewis goes, you want me to let him pass as well?
Yeah, like by this point, yeah, Lewis is he's just throwing the towel in. He's like, you lot just don't even know what you're doing, innit?
Yeah.
And I just feel like I don't know what's going on. There's a part of me that's like, you know what? It takes time to get the relationship right with the mechanics. There's a part of me that's just like, these mechanics ain't it.
They're not. So this was later on in the race, right? Where so they swapped back because Charles done a pit stop and got on different tyres again. They swapped back. And when they actually did the swap, they told Charles, all right, overtake Lewis now. We're going to do the overtake. They didn't tell Lewis. So Charles goes to overtake him. Lewis hadn't been told yet. So obviously Lewis has defended the overtake. And he's just thinking in his head, what's this brother doing?
Yeah. No, the comms at Ferrari's in the mud, bruv. So they've had a quarter to sort themselves out. Like, this is all they get.
Yeah.
We talked about reviewing this thing at 6 races. This is all they get. You lot have had it now.
Yeah.
So pattern up.
Stuff like this ain't a learning curve in how should I speak to Lewis and stuff like that. This is the basics.
Yeah,
This is the basics. So I just find it mad. Like,
so does it get better?
Nah, someone's got to go.
Yeah, they need to do something with these Ferrari mechanics. It's not it. The chief mechanic needs to make a decision. And Frank don't talk too much.
Yeah.
You didn't hear much from him this weekend. He's just like,
I tell you see his face though on the camera when they pan to him.
And it was straight.
Proper straight.
He's
vexed.
Like, Ferrari, Frank is a man that like, you see him celebrating with people at the end of the race and stuff like that. Didn't see no Frank this time.
Yeah.
No one wanted to talk to Frank. It's mad. What I did see is the two Williams drivers going at it. And I think there was a little bit of a team orders thing that came through that got ignored at one point because Carlos Sainz found himself getting overtaken against team orders, right?
Yeah. Do you blame him?
No.
I'm doing the same thing, innit? Like, if I'm faster, I'm here to race.
But at the same time, if the team principal or the team say, yo, this is how we're playing it. Like, I just think there's a lot of gas at Williams. They're in a position they've never been in before. Like, they're winning points. Like, I think we're 6 races in. They've got more points than they had the whole of last season.
Yeah.
They've got 2 good drivers. You got a man that's been there last season, like keen to show that, like he's stuck it out with Williams, and now he's trying to flex in this car that he's doing well. That he's not had a car that's been able to perform like this. And then you got Carlos Sainz, he's a race winner. Like he's there to bang it out. And he's sensible as a driver. He knows who is racing and who is not racing. But in this time, I don't think at one point he realized how much he was racing his team. But they both done really well, man. They both drove a good race.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, man. You want to see the competitiveness, isn't it? And both drivers performing well. Albon ended up P5 in the race result, which was really, really good.
This is good. Like their team principal, James Vowles, will be ecstatic. Like I tell you who we hear a lot from during the race. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of like when football managers, like they get interviewed at the end of a football match.
Yeah.
But when you see like a non-league, or it's not non-league, but a really low league team playing like a Premier League team in like the FA Cup early stages, it's like they do things that they don't usually do, which is talk to the manager middle of the game, because this manager probably works in a car mechanic part-time and he's managing a team part-time, like, and it's just like glad to get him on TV. He's glad to do the interview. You got Zach Brown at McLaren and they're talking to him he's like the race correspondent in the pit lane.
Every couple laps, bruv. It's mental.
What's he doing? He's very chatty. Now here's my question. If McLaren ain't doing the bits like they're doing at the moment, is he still going to be as chatty in another race if McLaren ain't doing so well? He come like the correspondent, bruv.
And he's all giving out tactics and that on like what they're going to do.
He's advising us on the rain situation. Yeah. I'm like, yo, bro, like you're doing a lot of talking.
Innit? Sometimes I think is he just lying to just throw people off. They definitely lied about that rain. But
bruv, the rain was rubbish.
He was chatting bare.
He's also a man that just puts his hand out and makes a decision on the rain like that. You know
that is true. But yeah, they're in that position so that he can do that, right?
Does what he likes.
He does what he wants, isn't
It's
it?
almost what you expect of like a kick Sauber. Because if you compare it to what I was saying about football, it's usually the low league managers that like, oh yeah, they're happy to jump on because that's all the airtime that they're really gonna get. And in this situation, it's the opposite. It's not the kick Sauber mechanic. It's the top
dog.
The top dog.
It's free clout and free marketing, isn't it? I guess.
I take that. And just sending different people up to the podium to collect the constructors like trophy, just as he feels like, I ain't got to do it.
Whoever got employee of the week gets to go up there.
It feels like that at the moment, man. They're loving life, man. Free orange suits on the podium.
P1 and 2 for them this weekend again.
And then the constructors, bro, they're like McLaren are loving life.
They are. And Lando ended up running quite a good race come the end of it.
He did. Like, do you think there should have been? I think there should have been some kind of like penalty for Max on that first one, or at least a bit more of a review, because I felt like I feel like on a replay, Lando did get up. He was next to him. He was ahead of him at one point, and I feel like the stewards could have given a penalty, and maybe they just didn't because it was lap one.
Well, it got noted, and they looked at it, and they said he weren't alongside him.
Bruv, he was alongside him. He was alongside him. He was alongside him. Man, seen the replay, bruv. He was alongside him. What are you talking about?
But then, yes, it's such a tough one because I feel like, did Max go into him on purpose? Did he kind of lost the balance?
Max did lose control of his car, and that's why I think he should be penalised, because
you can't lose control in a car.
Yeah, you got to be in control. So I don't think he actually forced Lando off in as like we were saying earlier. I don't actually think it was as aggressive and as arrogant as the move looked. I think he just was out of control of his car, and he caused an issue. And if they'd crashed, I think it would have been Max caused the collision. And that's because he locked up on the way in, and so it was a thing. Interestingly, this is where we've just got to look at, is this a driver thing? Interestingly, Max locked up later in the race when Oscar Piastri passed him. But Piastri managed to get the move done.
Yeah, this is it.
This is, for me, an Oscar and Lando different gravy conversation.
Yeah.
I love Lando. I really do. Lando is very much like how I think I'd be as a driver. I want to be there. I want to drive. I'm not taking no stupid risks. But also gets mad upset, I think, with the situation.
He does. He gets in his own head.
Yeah, and he gets annoyed. And like you see it in his interviews, it's like Max is being Max, isn't it? He's doing a good job. So no one says nothing is the bit that he doesn't say out loud. But and Lando also said in his interview, what can I say? If I don't go for it, people complain. If I go for it, people complain. So I can't win. He races for the people, man, and he listens to the people.
Yeah, spends too much time on Twitter. You just need to do your thing and drive your way. And like, driving your way is what got you here in F1 in the first place. And that's what got you that, what was it, an 8-year deal at McLaren on stupid money. So continue doing what got you there. Yeah. That's what I believe.
And don't worry about nothing. But you see that he worries. At the end of the race, right? So they were interviewed on a truck. Going back. Like, that's kind of unusual, right? So they've interviewed Russell, who was kind of quiet, but ended up on the podium.
Mate, Russell is having a great season.
Quietly.
He just makes no mistakes.
Yeah.
0 mistakes. He just missed the consistent this year. And again, he made no mistakes, and he put himself in a position to end up getting P3 because of another safety car. You know, done him well, pitted, got the position. And yeah, he's just
quietly working, grafting away. No, respect to him. So they interviewed Russell. Then they've interviewed Lando. Oh, Lando, take a seat. No, I'm all right standing up. Been sat down for the last 2 hours. Big man, we know that wasn't a relaxed sit down, was it? Like, but that tells me something about he's more restless. More restless. Because then he sits down when they're interviewing Oscar.
Yeah.
And can we just get a shot, of like Lando being sat in the seat next to Oscar. Oscar's being interviewed, and you've got Lando. Just look at Lando's face. Bruv, he was fuming. He didn't want to be there. And you can see him replaying this race.
Everything.
You can see him replaying turn 1 in his head. You can see him sitting there thinking, I'm P2.
Yeah.
You can sit there thinking, you can see him thinking, this Oscar, is sat next to me. He's come into my team and he's sitting here giving his 4th victory speech interview
This is it.
of the season of 6 races. Oscar's won 4 of them.
And then he's thinking the audacity of this guy to griddy after winning, and he had to sit there watching him do that.
And you've got me just here. Nah, bro. It's like you saw it in his face. Lando. Yeah. And when Lando's just like cracking on, it's all cool. I love the guy. I think he's the most like playful guy in the pit lane. Like I just love having him involved in Formula One. But it does get to him a little bit. But if he can get past those moments, he'll be all right, man. But like you said, he's got like a bit of a mistake in him where someone like George doesn't. So I think we're going to see Lando P1, P2, P1, P8, P9, P10, P2. Whereas I think you're going to see George P3, 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 P3.
All the time, yeah. He hasn't got the car to win a race this year, I don't think, unless McLaren...
I
think unless McLaren or Red Bull get DNFs or make a stupid, massive mistake, then I just don't think the Merc is absolutely elite speed-wise yet.
But you've got 2 drivers putting in the work.
Yeah, they're doing the business still.
Yeah, they're doing the business.
And Mercedes always seem to come strong come end of the year. So we don't know what upgrades they're going to bring, right?
Hey.
So
Lewis also gave an interview saying, we know where the Ferrari is lacking. We're working on it. They get that bit right, it could all change because the 2 of them, Lewis and Shaw, they're both been consistently finishing in the same 7th and 8th positions. We could be in for a great next few races.
Yeah, let's see.
Looking forward to it, man.
Alonso, lap 9.
Oh my gosh. Go on.
So he ended up spinning and dropped him right to the back.
Bro, this was just a driver
by
error.
Himself. Yeah.
No one else involved, you know. No Liam Lawson.
He still ended up coming ahead of Liam Lawson, though.
Bruh. It's mad how it goes, isn't it? It's mad how it goes.
Yeah, but it's just, what is going on with him? Because it's just so unlike him, right?
Yeah.
So unlike him.
I don't know, man, but hopefully he's got it out of his system in this first quarter and can kind of move on. What are we saying? 6 races in. Max has won 1 of those.
Yeah. Red Bull ain't got the car. Merc has been very consistent. Both their drivers, they're only going to improve, I think. And Kimi's only going to get better as he gets more experience. And I think Toto was saying that there's a lot more races that Kimi's had experience on, like in the other divisions.
Okay.
With the races coming up.
Okay.
So they're expecting him to kind of, shine a bit more in these coming races. So this will be a bit of a new experience for him. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think it's just going to be Lando and Piastri. All the way, just battling between each other for that 1 and 2 spot, I think.
And like I said, I think we're going to see a big incident, Max and Oscar, and I think it's round the corner.
Max is shown in qualifying he's always going to be on that front row, regardless. So I think we're going to see a lot of them turn 1 incidents on these coming races coming up.
Even if Oscar's like P3, I think we've seen that, like you said, diving up the inside and making it happen. It's going to be an interesting one.
It will. And then you got stuff like Ollie Behrman, where his car just stopped working.
Oh, man, engine. This was like old classic, like blown engine. This reminds me of when I used to play like Formula One, or it was like IndyCar or something like that, and put it in manual mode, and then forget to change the gear, and then it's just silence.
Yeah,
it just cuts out, and that was his engine. Him and the Kicksauber. Bortoletto had an issue with his engine or the car reliability. It just is what it is.
I feel like it's been a while since we've been seeing like DNFs for cars just breaking by themselves.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Which is quite interesting, and it seems like it's only the lower teams that have had that sort of this year and
maybe
this
it's
race.
just like, I don't know, 2025. Maybe it's just where we are in time in the world. Because I said this the other day. Yesterday I see someone pushing an Astra up 14 High Street. I was like, bro, I haven't seen anyone pushing a car in years. You don't remember? There was a point. If you'd see like a woman broken down at the side of the road, and you'd be like, we'll get out and help push. And be like, couple man will push the car. But you don't really see that no more.
You don't. Yeah, you're not wrong,
No DNFs.
Yeah.
But get me, I've seen one this week, and we've seen 2 in F1 in the same week. I don't know.
Pinnacle of racing, isn't it?
I don't know. don't know. No one was pushing it. But what we did see in the sprint race is people mashing up the car and keep driving it all the way around to the pit lane, which they're not supposed to do.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know what? If they can make it, they can make it. I'd try it myself. But boy, it just left bare debris on the track on the way. Oh man, it was a good weekend in Miami, man.
Yeah, they left bare Lego on the track as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Because they had that was another race we didn't even talk about.
Yeah. that was the driver's highlight, they were saying this weekend.
They enjoyed that, man. Driving around the track in life-size Lego Formula One cars.
It was mad, didn't it? It looked sick. It did look proper sick.
Have you seen the actual, like, you can get like to scale Lego that you can build and you can make a working Formula One car. Like, I think it's like an eighth of the so like 1 to 8, I think is how they say the scale is. And you can build it. Bruv, I do not have that patience. I'm not a Lego man like that. I'll be real. I couldn't do it.
Do you do any DIY at home?
Bruv, come on. Not me. It's not me. I am not, I can drive. I'm not the mechanic. Bruv, can I tell you something? I never even changed a tire, bruv.
Mad.
Don't need to. Just don't need to.
I think it's a skill everyone should learn, though.
I can do 100%. it. Don't try it. No, don't. I don't like what you do. Don't try to do that.
Now you said you can do it. There's gonna be a race talk special, right? Where J Knots to the world has to change a tire.
POV.
What do we give him? Let us know how much time we're going to give him to change his tire.
2.5 seconds. Yeah. I can change the wheel, bruv. Just all I need, bruv. Honestly, I can do it. All I need is 18 mechanics around me. Yeah. Get it done. I'll be like, go. That's it. We'll be back for the next race.
Imola.
Yeah, man. Which is kind of, is this a home race for Ferrari? It's like
yes,
yeah, because there's 2 Italys.
There is. You got, was it Monza and
Imola? Yeah. But anyway, we're going to Italy, the home of coffee. So hopefully they'll get some down them and be wide awake and on point for Ferrari. We will be back. Race Talk F1. Your boy J Knox, aka J Knox to the world,
and your boy Javier, aka One Hav.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow on absolutely everything: TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. Race Talk F1.